Yeah.
You're right there, Demi.
Did you ever hear the story about Claire?
Not Claire.
When we were,
Oh, I think that she said something or something.
Wait, what?
I'll tell you after.
Claire, God.
We were at a presser in Daytona, and she was saying stuff she shouldn't be, and they were like, "Tell her to shut up."
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So at about 4:30 this morning, we received a call for 5500 Ocean Shore Boulevard, unit number 61, for a person who was having suicidal thoughts and wanted some help. So deputies got there. They interviewed him, and it was quite apparent that he was in some type of physical distress, meaning they looked at more as a medical call. They called for medical personnel to come. They examined him. They wanted to transport him to the hospital. He refused to go to the hospital. Fast forward, they were around 6 a.m. We get multiple calls come in that the occupant of Unit 61 in 5500 Ocean Shore Boulevard is shooting at residents in residence properties. Deputies arrive on scene. Suspect retreats back into his house where he barricades himself. We establish a perimeter. We evacuate everybody. And shortly around 8:30, he starts shooting at law enforcement. And this goes on up until probably 30 minutes ago. Probably he has fired close to 200 plus rounds. I'm sure when you'll see the crime scene, some of the apartments are littered. The facade is just shot up. There's rounds in people's homes. So he shot at our negotiators, at the speaker on the truck. He shot at the SWAT truck when it pulled up. He retreated into a back bedroom. We were able to send in tear gas and kind of corner him, but it was obvious that he wasn't coming out. He was armed with at least a shotgun, a handgun, and a Tommy gun. Eventually, we were able to get my SWAT team and our snipers were able to get eyes on him, and we were able to end the standoff by taking him out. And we're in the process now of processing the scene. And there is, I'm telling you, he probably fired over 200 rounds. His name is Joseph DeFusco. He's born in 1968. He's being treated by the VA out of Connecticut. He's snowbirding down here. His family tried to take an ex parte order out on him yesterday because they were so scared of him. They were sleeping in their car. And there was no negotiating with this guy. There was no anything. This was going to end in an out-and-out firefight. And my objective was to make sure that every single deputy went home for Thanksgiving dinner today, and that every single resident of that complex got to have Thanksgiving dinner today. And we were successful in that mission.
Not a single injury?
Not a single injury to deputies, and I am proud of how they handled it. I mean, this was a situation where he was not going to negotiate. Every time he tried to negotiate, he opened fire on us. He turned off his phone, and he was armed to the teeth. In 37 years, I don't think I've ever had an experience where I had to position snipers and say, you have a green light to do your job. If he comes at you, you have a green light, because this is not going to end the way we want it to end. I mean, we had the negotiators, their trucks were far away, that they had ballistic shields in front of them and blankets over the trucks so that they could negotiate through the loudspeaker. There was a point when we were watching the footage of the drones and everything that you could hear the bullets whizzing over our head, and we were probably 100 yards back. So when you get to see this crime scene, I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's anything you've really seen before. When you see the facades of these buildings and the windows that are shot out, and the shell casings that were all over the place from the initial confrontation with his neighbor. So how nobody got killed in that initial confrontation, I can't answer that question. But I know that when we got here, the mission was everybody was going home safely, and we were going to protect this community as best we can, and we did that.
Did he say anything at all when you were negotiating with him?
He wouldn't talk to us. He responded with gunfire. Every time they would get on, hey, this is Deputy so-and-so, turn your phone on. We're here to help. We're trying to get a hold of the VA. There's no reason to be doing this. And they would be met with a barrage of gunfire. The SWAT truck was even struck.
So you said 200. When you say fired 200 rounds, when you got into the unit, how much more ammunition was in there? Did you see a lot more?
We haven't got in there. We got in there, but it's a mess now. You got to remember, I had to use a piece of equipment to destroy the bedroom he was in. So he's covered in shell casings. He's covered in spent shell casings. There's at least 3 guns in there that you could see. There's some type of radio in there as well. He had a whole big thing of firecrackers. I mean, the thing was, the family told us he only had 2 guns and like 1 clip. Well, you know, for all these hours we were out there, somebody wasn't paying attention because he was armed for Armageddon is what he was armed for.
Sheriff, you said he was snowbirding down here, right? So did he bring those firearms from out of state then? Or
I would have to assume he is because the place he's staying in is an Airbnb. And his car's parked out front. It's a black Cadillac with Connecticut tags on it. He is a convicted felon out of Connecticut for firearms stuff. I can't confirm this, but I believe he was discharged from the military from Camp Lejeune in the 90s for mental health issues. And from what we did learn is he had stopped taking his medicine and had not been sleeping for days. So again, when you look at it and you go back at the 30,000-foot view, how none of the neighbors, because some of the neighbors actually walked out to confront him when he was shooting, and he didn't kill them, thank God. He shot the hell out of their homes, but he didn't kill them. And, you know, on our footage, you know, when we pinned him in there, we had a good view of everything he was doing. So it's just, again, you know, it's mental health, armed to the teeth, and thank God for all the equipment that we have and all the training that we go through. We were able to make sure that everybody's going home safely this afternoon, and all of the folks, after we process the crime scene, they'll be able to get back to their homes in a semblance of life.
I didn't hear whether you said it or not, Sheriff. So he's alive? Or
No, he's dead. He's deceased.
Self-inflicted gunshot?
No, he was killed by us. Our sniper is who took him out.
And just to clarify, you mentioned his family. Was he in that unit by himself? Or was
He was in the unit by himself today, and last night his family was so scared of him they relocated north. I think they went to Palm Coast is where they were. So they're here on the scene now. But I read the ex parte order. There's no way they were going to be able to even communicate with this guy based on what the ex parte order had said about it. So this crime scene's going to be active for God knows how long. You know, FDLE will handle the shooting and the fact that we use deadly force. So they'll do that end, and then the crime scene it's a big crime scene. There's a lot to process there. So that's it.
All right. Can you say his name, and do you have the spelling of his name?
I can get it for you. It's inside of the truck. It's Joseph DeFusco, D-I-F-U.
SCO, I guess.
There you go. And he was born in 1968.
How long have they been in town?
I could tell you from the CAD calls, we were out there 3 times in the last 4 days, I think. We were out there for a well-being check. They were out there to serve the ex parte order. That had not been signed. And then we were out there for the medical issue earlier this morning, and then obviously we were out there when he started firing shots.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.